Okay, so hey you guys, it's Jordan here, and today I had a very exciting and very nerve-wracking video to make today. So obviously by the title I got accepted to the school, and I just wanted to go over some stuff to help anybody else that might end up going through the same process or following the same kind of footsteps in terms of going to that school. So I just wanted to show some things. These are a whole bunch of recordings and stuff. That wasn't supposed to be there, but fuck it. No, why did I curse, man? Okay, sorry, I apologize. All right, so this is my portfolio that I had submitted. Now, I just want to say a couple things. Like, it is mainly character focused, I guess you could say, because that's basically what I've focused on for the past 4 years on and off. Like, I wouldn't say consistently, but that's the only thing that I've pretty much drawn up to this point. So before this point, I didn't really draw buildings and animals at all. I didn't really draw vehicles, and anything outside of armor. The things that I've been drawing have been really specific. So I feel like I feel like it's kind of hurt my progress overall as an artist, just focusing on one thing so hard, being armor. Like, everyone who knows I draw know that I like to draw armor. But going to this school, I'm gonna be doing a lot more than that. So I'll get to that point eventually. So this is just the first page. There's gonna be like little blobs every now and then because for every page, like I took out my email and my phone number and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully it doesn't come back up in another one, or I'll have to start all over because I don't have editing software. So, and I just woke up. Yeah, okay. Disclaimers now. All right, so this was the second page. Clearly, just a lot of characters. And honestly, like, there's a lot of different. Like, I would have used, looking back on it now, I would have definitely used different pictures for my portfolio because I don't think I found like all of my favorite drawings. But at the same time, in the portfolio, we were limited to 15 drawings. So I think I have like 13 or 15 if you count the little small images. I didn't want to, like, by small images I mean these right here. I didn't want to leave these out. I don't know why. I just kind of needed something small that would fit the space but be the kind of same color palette, I guess. Cause like, if they're, oh crap, the only like one that really follows a color palette is this one. Or no, not this one, but this one. That's the only one. So I just wanted it to kind of be the same. And by this point, I was just hoping that they would, see some kind of passion for drawing. Because, I mean, there was a lot that, like, when it came to my portfolio, I obviously don't have that much to show. Which kind of sucks to say out loud, but at the same time, I just kind of have to be real with myself here because I didn't really, like, when I was drawing these things, I only thought about them being on a portfolio maybe like once or twice. I never really thought about, like, oh, I'm going to be applying to the school soon. I should probably get some things. Like, it seems like the most obvious thing to do, but, like, I was like, okay, well, I'll just show a bunch of my sketches and drawings. And then I realized that you're limited to 15. So then it was like, okay, well, I just want to show the most developed drawings. And then it just turned into this. So my overall reflections for this is just kind of like I could have. I feel like I could have prepared more for that. Even though I got accepted and everything, it's just like in hindsight, I really wish that because one of my friends actually offered to go over my drawings with me and like choose like which ones would probably be the best to put on the portfolio, but I didn't do it because I was just so focused on like getting things done on my own. So like my advice would be like if you can get feedback from other people, chances are they aren't as biased as you are, so you can probably have a more focused and representative collection of drawings to show. I think that's just the best advice I could give. But at the same time, sometimes like you might know better than some people. So that's just my portfolio. So now I'm gonna go to the entry stuff. So when I got accepted, I had to take an entry test, and these are basically all the drawings. Now each entry test was I was given 50 hours to complete, um, and it was like, do this, this, and this, have this many pages of this. So I'll just go over that right now. I won't get too specific though, because I don't know what. Like the thing is, like, I've never seen anyone make a video on FZD school, or honestly any design school in general, in terms of like entry tests or what's it called, like portfolios, too much. So I don't know if these things are like in the like I don't know, like, if there's some kind of agreement going on, or if people are just too shy to show. I almost bit my tongue. If people are too shy to show it, I don't know. So like I'm kind of hesitant on this. I feel like everybody else is kind of hesitant too, because at the end of the day, you really just don't know what you're allowed to put out there. But at the same time, I haven't signed anything, so I mean, if that happens eventually, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not able to show these things. Um, so the first assignment that I had decided to do out of what I was given, I'll just say that because God knows what's man, I cursed again. What's like under a certain like non-disclosure. I don't know. So we were told to. All right, so I chose Antarctic, an Antarctic science vehicle, or scientific research vehicle. So my whole thing here was just trying to find reference for any kind of um, heavy snow, like transportation vehicles, kind of just anything that can navigate through snow easy, anything that can go over like hill terrain, maybe, anything that can go over ice. So I think I did a decent job at that, and I'm gonna talk about what I think I did pretty bad, just so like to be well rounded. I don't want to be biased on like, because since then I've noticed a lot that I could have done better, and that's just part of growing as an artist. Just trying to be. This fan is getting cold. That's just part of just growing as an artist and just trying to improve. So I thought it was really important that I was just for me to be like real with myself in terms of the things that I didn't do and the things that I did. So we were supposed to fill up 2 pages with just reference of a whole bunch of um, vehicles that we're gonna use to kind of design off of the scientific Antarctic vehicle. So I just ended up looking at a whole bunch of different drawing, like not different drawings, but different vehicles for reference. Is this the same one? I thought I had two. Okay, so I no, it's 1 page then. I'm so confused, man. I don't have my glasses on. Um, so and then we were supposed to do a bunch of sketches. So here were my sketches for the vehicles. Yeah, I I mean, there's probably some of you guys looking at it and being like, these are pretty good. Other people probably look at it and be like, yo, what? Like, perspectives off here and there and there. And I did get that feedback from one of my good friends, so I appreciate you, Berserk. You helped me out a lot with that. Um, but like I said, these are just the thumbnail sketches for the vehicles. Now, if there was one thing that I could point out that I would say I did right, is that I tried to use different shapes. I tried to use a little like circles here because I didn't see any vehicles that had circles. So I was just trying to like, I was trying to express that I was able to think outside the box a bit. Um, so I tried to use circles and like half domes and stuff like that in some of the designs. And then here I tried to use a triangle just for the last one. I mean, like I was just like, you know, everything else is so boxy. Like if you look at if we go back to the reference that I use, everything's so boxy, so bulky looking. So I was just trying to find a way to kind of break away from that. I don't think I did too much of a good job with that specifically because I mean, if you look at everything, it's just everything's pretty bulky. But I guess that's what comes with being, in a tough terrain, is because you don't want your vehicle getting blown over, and you don't want it to be too you don't want it to not have horsepower, I guess, because what if you want to pull another vehicle out, or like a a scientific instrument or something like that. Like you need, God knows how big they get, right? I didn't see, and this is something that I regret because I feel like I didn't do enough research. I got done with this whole process, like this whole the first entry test, like 6 hours early, and I was really just when I submitted it, I was burned out, and I didn't know why. And the reason why is because if you look really closely, um, man, I redrew almost every vehicle. And in some of the vehicle sketches, like I left the under drawing in there, but I ended up going back and just redrawing almost every single one. So I essentially almost drew all of these twice. So I used a lot of energy that I could have used with, just doing extra research and um, just, coming up with just better designs, I guess you could say. But there's only so much you can do, really, I guess. No, I won't say that. I feel like that's just making excuses. But like, I would have, if I could have done it differently, like, and went back and retook the test, I would definitely say that I could have spent more time on research. And I was really disappointed when I realized that, because I take, here, I'll show some of my notes. So the school has a YouTube channel actually where the owner of the school, he gives like free notes to people basically. Not free notes, but free lectures, I guess you could say. So I always go through all of those lectures and take notes. And I've been taking notes in this thing for, well, this one's like halfway full. But the I have another book that I have full with notes. This is like the second one. And I was really disappointed because I didn't use those notes at all. And I could have, and the designs could have been way better if I would have focused a little bit more on planning things out. I think when I first got the test, I was just really trying to like, obviously I was nervous and I didn't want to waste any time. So like my immediate thought was just to start, and I didn't consider, and it's a student mistake, right? Like I'm clearly not a professional. But the mistake that I saw myself make was that I just wanted to hop right into design. I didn't want to waste any time. I wanted to start drawing stuff and try to figure out what I can and can't draw yet. So yeah, I would have spent a lot more time, just taking notes on the camp, like just setting things out using keywords and trying to do a little bit more research just in general. But like at the same time, like I think I did pretty good. I did get accepted, so it couldn't have been that bad. There's a lot of things that I don't want to be beating myself up this whole video. I spent too much time on the sketches. So these were like the final sketches, and as you can see, like they don't look much different than the small sketches, like they don't look that different. And that's because I spent so much time trying to make these thumbnail sketches, these sketches look like drawings, like just really polished drawings. And I think that was the wrong attitude. I feel like I could have stopped them at this level. I didn't have to go and fill them all in and focus on like making everything look all fancy. And there was something that I also noticed too, and I don't want to skip over this. I'll probably have like timestamps or whatever they're called in the description, so people can skip over these kinds of things just to see the portfolio. But what was I about to say? Like these, like okay, so I realized kind of halfway through, like, and you could tell kind of where I got burned out because after I redrew all those drawings, some of them ended up being just flat ones, just to fill in the space almost. Even though the designs may have not have been, bad on their own, they're two-dimensional, they're just flat, so like these could have been considered sketches, but at the same time, like if I would have, like I said, if I would have went into the thumbnails, making them as thumbnails and not drawings, and trying to make them look so good, I could have used a lot more energy for something else. And then the fact that I spent so much time on them, like this one, I spent so much time on. I don't know how, like looking at it now, obviously, but looking at it now, it's just like I spent so much time on it that I didn't want to erase it because I didn't like that design. There's a lot of designs that I didn't like, but I spent so much time on them, which I shouldn't have, which caused me not want like I didn't want to get rid of them because I felt like it was such a like I spent like what like 2 hours, trying to polish all three of these and certain other ones, that I didn't really like. So uh, it was really tough, because I knew that I didn't like them. I didn't feel like they were good designs, but I spent so much time on them. I didn't want to let them go. So that's another bit of advice that I learned from taking notes and paying attention to the videos that Fang puts out, which was just the fact that you don't want to over invest in your sketches. Let them be sketches. Let them be bad. Let them express ideas. They don't have to all be dragged out drawings. Um, yeah, so that's just the biggest part for me, that I realized, and obviously like perspectives could be off. Like I think they are off in a lot of cases, and it's just like overall this test really made me realize just how far behind I am, I guess, because there's like it's like everyone knows they have blind spots. Everyone knows that there's things that they aren't good at, but like by taking these tests, like I just realized that like there's so much that I haven't been paying attention to that I like before I go to school I want to try to get more familiar with. Not try, like I want to and I will get just more familiar with these things because the fact that it went under my radar, like there was just like a hint of depression there. It was like dang, like how have I been drawing for so long neglecting such a big part of drawing. um and the reality of that is just that I've only been drawing the things that I want to draw. I haven't been studying the things that I should be drawing, like perspective and practicing my time management skills. And another big thing that Fang brought up was that in one of his videos was that don't treat something that you want to do for a career as a hobby. Like don't like if you're spending like 1 hour and 2 hours a day, or like I mean some people can only afford that, right? But if you can afford to spend more of that and you're only spending 1 hour 2 hours a day by drawing and stuff like that, you're not really you can't expect to reach a professional level anytime soon. And even when you don't feel like drawing or doing research, you have to realize that like you have to just do it, because when you're working you're not always going to feel like doing the work, and you're not always going to have good days. It's like working out, right? Like you're not always going to feel like going to the gym, you're not always going to feel like getting up to go to the gym, etc. It's just about pulling yourself up and just kind of and those things can kind of be negated by having a good pipeline. Like if you have a method of developing your ideas and just like something that you can fall back on, like some kind of structure, it gets a lot easier. And that's just what I've taken from taking notes and paying attention to the design cinemas. So yeah, lately I've just been trying to find ways to practice these things, because I can't really show it right now, but like I have this giant sketchbook that I want to use for perspective, but it's I almost spit like um it's what I wanted to use for perspective, but this drawing pad is so big, it would take up this whole desk, so like whenever I draw on it, I lay it on my bed and I just kind of like sit there crisscross applesauce and just drawing for a whole hour while I fill up the page. And I can show it right now, but it's I'll show it right now. Well, no, because my picture's small. Um, I don't want to. You know what? I'll go ahead and show it. Hold on. Okay, so this is like the ow, hit my head on the roof. I'll try to. This is so scuffed, man. This is so scuffed. Let me see. I can't. No. This is the most scuffed video I've ever made in my life. Hold on. Okay, so in order to make this bigger, just do this. All right. Okay. So, excuse like the back room. That's my little brother's spot. It's not as clean as I like it to be. Um, but like I don't know if you guys can see it, but like it's just I try to fill up these pages with like organic shape studies and just random, just random things that I can probably fix up on, and just random shapes. I try to fill this thing up, but it's so big, like so it takes a lot of time, and yeah, so like it's something that I can't really I wouldn't say can't, but like it just takes a lot of time. I've spent about an hour and a half per page just trying to, and while I draw, like I like to listen to architecture advice. Like lately, I've been looking a lot into architecture channels and design channels in that regards. In those regards, I don't know how to use that word really. Um, I've been just doing like just trying to expose myself to more things because like it was really disappointing for me to know that like I was blind to so much, and the entry test is meant to like it's not like clearly I'm not a student yet, right? Like I'm going there to learn, not to work. So there's a lot of things that I have to learn. Yeah, but there's also a lot of things that I can prepare myself for, and that's something that I feel like I've been paying the more attention to is just like what can you do to prepare yourself for what you're gonna have to, do while you're there. And the main thing for me is just making sure that I have the endurance. Starting to work my way up to drawing for like 6 hours a day, um, and then eventually, 10, maybe even 12. I don't know, like because while I'm here, I have a lot of responsibilities realistically. Um, so I can only really prepare myself so much, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try to push for 10 hours, 12 hours, um, because that's gonna be the reality. When I go to school, it's gonna be like drawing for 10 hours a day and being in school for 8, and the rest of the hours, 6 hours of sleep a night, and probably less than that, probably a lot of all nighters. This school is meant to prepare you for you know entering the industry in a year. So like obviously in that year you're gonna have to do a lot more work. So I'm just trying to prepare myself for that and kind of just expose myself to as much as I can. Like it's a big task, and I'm just trying to make sure that I don't try to tackle it all at once. I'm trying to break it down into bite-sized pieces um, for me to be able to focus on everything that I put in front of me because it's really easy to get distracted. Not that I get distracted often, but it's still a possibility, and I try to take it much more seriously. Um, and I'm not reading off a script or anything. Like I'm looking over to this. I'll drag it over. See, it's like oh, oh yeah. Boop. See, I'm just yep. I don't like the shape of my head, so like I get self conscious sometimes. I'm like, man, my head looks weird. Um, so yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry to ramble on about that. I apologize, but it's just something that I really thought was worth sharing. So the next part was to design a suit for that suit for whatever vehicles we chose to make, and this is another part. I didn't really design these vehicles with specific roles in mind. I would have definitely done that if I would have, put more time into my research. I didn't look at specific roles in terms of like what scientists do. And it was only once I got to the suit part that I realized that. And then it was like, yo, like, I just, I real like at that moment I realized like I didn't have any kind of specific role in mind when I was drawing these things. Which is another kind of thing that I realized. But at the same time, just don't let it happen again. Don't let the mistake happen and not learn from it. So that's what I've just been trying to do is just try to use it as a way to like get forward and learn something from it instead of just getting super sad about it. Um, and I think I'm being really hard on myself, because I mean I have got accepted, but I'm still just really disappointed with my entry tests in general. Um, because I know I could have done better if I would have planned it. If I would have planned it out more, I would have done better. And I'm even harder on myself because I took notes. I took like 2 pages full of notes and didn't use them. It was such a big part of how I studied. Like, how did I take 2 books worth of notes and not use a single one? Like, oh man, I was just really bummed out. I'll be honest. But yeah, here's some reference that I had gathered for the suit designs. So yeah, that was that. I kind of learned a little bit through that too. I learned that there's people whose jobs are solely to study glaciers, glaciologists or something like that. It's crazy. Um, let's see. So let me see where I. Okay, so these were the sketches I came up with. Clearly, I was not having a good time. I was not having a good time, man. Like I don't know. Like I'm just glad that I guess all of those gesture drawings and stuff kind of came in handy here because like I am not good at drawing legs and arms, so I think I did decent here. I think I like to think I did okay here. Um, especially like on the smaller sketches, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what my strengths are. Oh, and then the other thing, I submitted this page backwards. So like I submitted it with the canvas flipped. I think it was either this one or the next one, but these were a whole bunch of sketches. I just designed like 5 suits and then it just kind of included all the concepts that I came up with. But I started to feel like they were getting too militaristic. Like I started pinning antennas on there and stuff. Like I was just like, so I just slowed down there. Um, it's really hard designing, civilian stuff. Like especially when you've only focused on medieval armor. Like uh, yeah, this isn't the one. Yeah, glaciologist. I don't know what, bro. It's crazy how specific job roles get. Like at the higher levels, like when you like generally speaking, like as a junior artist, you start off doing a lot of like general things, as a junior artist. But like as you get higher and higher in your art role and stuff like that, you start to specialize in a lot of things. And I guess other job fields are the same. It's just like I wonder if there's some nail specialist around here. There probably is, honestly. Like some dude that specializes in making nails to drill certain surfaces. It's it's crazy. But these were the drawings that I did. I left. If you look really close, and I'm so sleepy. I hope I don't look like I'm high, man. Cause I'm not. I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs. It's like I just woke up, and I was just like, you know what? I need to get this thing over with. I'm gonna put my glasses back on though. But if you look really closely, you can see the under sketches for a lot of them, like that I did, and I just kept them in there because they gave them a little texture or something. I don't know. I felt like they would have looked too blank without them. So this one is definitely one of my favorites. This one too, but I went crazy on the pockets. I actually think I was really tempted to design armor here. I was really tempted to just start smacking like shoulder plates and like gauntlets and chest rigs and stuff like that and little ammo pouches. I don't know what I was about to start doing, but I had to slow myself down. But obviously, I didn't do that too well. I got way too carried away. These aren't pockets, by the way. These were just supposed to be the yeah, whatever. That was I don't know what happened there, but um, my little brother had pointed it out to me. He's like, who would want to get into all those pockets? Like you got a pocket right here and a pocket right there. Like why doesn't he just have a toolbox? And then like when he said that, I was just like, I did it again, man. So like it was really, I would say the biggest thing that came out of this was it was just really a good learning process for me. Like I learned so much in terms of what I'm bad at, what I'm decent at, what I'm probably good at. Um, so I think it's very useful because I have 4 months, 4.5 months to prepare myself, and that's what I'm gonna do. I just want to get better at. The main thing for me though, like I mainly want to focus on my endurance. I just want to be able to draw longer without my quality just dropping off a hill because um and I tested it yesterday. I was drawing some buildings in that giant sketchbook and like let me make sure this okay. 30-minute video. No one's watching it to this point, man. Um but I was drawing it in this sketchbook, these buildings, and like the more like I got like 50 minutes in, my straight lines started to look like caterpillars. It was crazy. It went from having straight lines, without a ruler. I was feeling good about myself, drawing the windows nice, and then like towards the bottom, the staircase goes like this and just takes a right turn for the worse. Like it just started getting worse and worse. So like it's when you get to that point, it's like, okay, I should probably take a break because at this point I'm not really doing anything. I'm just trying. It's like you're like trying to run, and like instead of running, you're just dragging yourself. You're not even running at that point. Um, so the second entry test included construction vehicles, and this is where I really just kind of got tilted. Um, because I wasn't able to make like we were supposed to draw them just like this, and I got the choice to choose like what I used. But like I chose three. It was like 3 to 7 that you can include per page. But I was like, how are you gonna include more than that? Look at these drawings, man. Like I was so sad. I was like, yo, like, like I was just like, bro, like, there's no way this is like the whole time. You have to remember too, like drawing something for the first time on paper is literally like hell on earth. It's like because you can't like for example, say I spend like an hour trying to get this one right. Like you see all the erasing and stuff like that. At this point, like once I have to erase it one time, I don't even want to use the page anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's like the page is ruined. I don't want to use it anymore. Why am I still here? And it's just like, man, like look at the like I don't know. I don't want to sit here flaming my own drawings, but man, this was not a good day. This test took my soul. Like I was just looking at this and I was just like, man, like how, man, like how did I get this far without addressing these problems? Like I was just like I was at a loss for words. Like it was just for me it was like when I think back when I was younger, um I had like little I do little doodles, and it felt like these were the exact same as I used to draw them in kindergarten or like not kindergarten but like middle school and high school. Like it was like it's like what have I been doing? Like it just when you step out of that zone that you've been studying so long, it just feels like garbage, man. Like, and the thing is, like, I'd spend an hour on one of the drawings, literally. Like, I don't know how, but like, I'd spend an hour on, like, for example, two of them, and then I'd get to the third one. I'm like, yo, this is so bad. Like, this is bad enough for me to want to cancel the page. Like, because clearly, if this was on Photoshop, I would just erase the whole thing out and just redraw it. But I think this was for the best though, because if it was on Photoshop, I would have probably you know, redrew and tried to draw again the first vehicle like 20 times because I never would have liked what I got as an outcome. So I would have spent so much time doing that, I would have probably not gotten anything done. And the reality of the situation was just the fact that like I have other drawings to do. So like I had to do ancient architecture, and I was just like, yo, what is the like I was just like so like, and this was the second page, I'm pretty sure. Like, okay, I don't have like the first architecture drawing one that I have, um, but like if you look at my progress, like that we were supposed to take progress pictures, you can see like, uh, I restarted the whole page. Like I tried to draw like a Colosseum, the Colosseum. I didn't like how that came out at all. So like, and even though like I got the pyramid decent, everything else was just so bad to me that like I just scrapped that whole page, man. I put it in my progress, but like I scrapped my whole page and just went here. And like seeing all that empty space was literally the most like it was like the most saddest feeling I think I've ever had, cuz like it just felt like I was like, what am I doing, man? Like how am I this bad? But like then again, like the test is supposed to see where you are. Um, that's all I was to say about that. And I had to take a picture of me drawing it, so I had to take this like awkward picture like this. And I was like, you know. So that was awkward too. And then the last one I think was the trees. So I did the tree drawings. These were really hard because like the like the trees, like they all look the same almost, like except for these, right, with the roots and everything. These are big trees too. Like that person for scale is crazy. You would have thought these were like normal sized trees until you see the person right there. Which gives the image scale, obviously. Like unless there were like some birds flying, you'd be like, oh my god, like, but you wouldn't even see them. Like the birds are so small compared, because they're just even smaller than the person. So, um, but for this, like by this point, man, I was seriously just because I have to like you have to remember, like I just spent 50 hours stressing my like I'm not used to it. Um, and this is gonna be like day one when I get there. Like it's gonna be like, all right, like you have this much time to do this, you know, like, and you have to get done or else you won't pass. It's gonna be just like that. So I'm just trying to build up my endurance. When I'm like really tired and stressed out, like I have to learn not to like want to stop drawing as much. I have to push through it and develop some methods to make that easier. Like I don't know, but when I got done with those construction drawings, it's just like no, it was the architecture that did me. The construction drawings, I was like, okay, well, you can tell that I tried something, right? But like with the architecture drawings, it was like, yo, like, and this one was okay. Oh man, I'm cringing too bad. But here are the trees, and I was just like, by this point, I was just done, man. I was just like, I just remember thinking like, I hope I didn't make myself look like an idiot. That's all I could think of. I was just like, man. But I had to keep reminding myself, and my brother kept having to remind me too. He was like, yo, like, you're doing these to get into the school, not as your final, you know what I mean? So I kept having to remind myself, like, and you can tell I was really burned out here, especially because I just started cross hatching for no reason, or hatching for no reason, like, no regard. Like I was just like my brain was on fire by this point, and it's not like these were the only things that I was focusing on. Like there's a lot of like responsibilities that I have that were just like stacking up on top of these things. I don't want to make excuses though. But to finish this video off, there's one more thing. There's one last thing, and that was just the interview. The interview was really chill. They were cool. She was really laid back. She asked a lot of questions. The only embarrassing part that I can think of right now is that she asked me what my favorite movies were, and my mind, like, you know, when you're in an interview, right? Like, you don't, your brain shuts off. Like, it's really like I couldn't think at all. Like, she was asking me what my favorite movies were, and I said Terminator. I said the Terminator, and like she just laughed, like she giggled a little bit. I was like, like I was like, bro, like what am I supposed to do? Like I get like it was just like they asked me these things and I knew the answers to them. Like I know I've watched movies. Like I had to think about it. Like afterwards I was like The Martian, Interstellar, what else? Like what is it called? Gravity. Even though that movie wasn't really like super realistic. These are a lot of recent movies. I don't watch movies that often. And even now, I can't now that I put myself on the spot, like I can't really think of much. But like when I'm not like, when you don't have that pressure, like can you? You probably can, because I like you can ask any friend that I know, like that knows me. I'm like the most uncultured guy ever. Like I don't know a lot of like I didn't watch a lot of movies. I don't know a lot of things like because growing up, like I just didn't have like I didn't really as a kid like I wasn't watching movies. I was just playing Halo and Time Splitters and stuff like that. So I just, or like if you know, on a good day, I convinced my friends to role play. I was such a nerd, dude. Like I'm still a nerd, but like we would go into the forest, grab sticks, pretend to sword fight. I'd literally make little manuals. Oh man, I was a game designer before I even knew I wanted to do anything game related. Literally, like we'd have these pages. I'd write these books out, and I'd be like, yeah, this stick will do this much damage, and this stick would do this much damage, and like you know you can use spells, but like being a kid, like you don't know how these things are gonna. You're the worst balanced team ever. So I just made myself super busted. I gave myself fireballs that could curve midair, and like if I missed you, I'd be like, no, my fireball can come back around, and like you know like just stuff like that. And then I remember I have one super cringe memory. Like it was in like early, like late elementary school. Me and my friends would play like this is really cringe. We would run around and act like we were like ninjas from Naruto. We'd have. I was like what 8? Like, but you can't look at me like that. Like it was like when we would run around and we'd be doing cartwheels and stuff, and like one guy knew how to do backflips. He was the most badass ninja we knew. Like we were just like yo man, like you're the master ninja. Just stuff like that. Being kids, that's like one of the only like genuinely happy memories that I have as a kid. As sad as that sounds. Um, but yeah, we'd just be going around doing cartwheels and flips and stuff, and faking like we knew hand signs to jutsus. It was crazy. It was mad crazy. And I cringe so hard when I think about it. Uh, but like it was just like kids being kids, man. Like like, and then before that, I would even draw. I would make my own games up. Like when I was in art class, I would draw little bank cars. Like I remember, like I would have paper and I would have like stick figure scenarios, I guess you could say, where like these stick figures would be trying to rob a bank, and I draw all the assets for the bank, and I draw all the assets for the like the. And looking back on it, like I didn't know they were assets, but like I literally draw assets like cash bags, the bank truck, the robbery truck, and like listen, I wasn't young trying to be like a mastermind trying to rob banks or nothing. Um, but like I would draw like and I was really careful with the guns though, because I think I was smart enough at that time to be like, yo, like you don't want to be drawing guns in school because like you know how much trouble that can put you in. So I just draw the cash bags and the I don't think I drew helicopters. I drew like little trucks. Um, Crap, my my screen went to sleep. Oh no, what the heck is going on here? Dude, what's up with this? Okay, this is just a sign in to end this video. 40 minutes. But yeah, I was doing stuff like that way before I was ever interested in doing stuff like that, and I did it a lot. Like I would make the assets and then cut them out of the paper and put them in like a little pouch to make the little. I don't know how. I never had a plan for how it would work. I just knew it was fun. But anyways, I hope some of my, just some of what I spoke about was useful. Oh, a little bit more on the interview. They just asked me like, what kind of books do I like? How many books do I own? What kind of movies do I watch? What kind of artists do I look up to? How many times do I draw a day? How long do I draw a day? Do I have a sketchbook whenever I go outside? I don't, because I live in Chicago, so like you want to be paying attention. You don't want to get ran up on, like but yeah, that's it, man. So I hope you guys have a good video. Good day. Good day. I hope you guys have a good video if you go watch another video. I hope that video is good. That's what I meant to say. Have a good one. Stay hydrated. Make sure that you're eating properly. I'm giving you a whole bunch of advice that I don't take, except for the hydrated part. So, see. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good day and stay safe. And peace. I'm gonna turn this off now.